All right. So we are here for our challenge two reveal and the number three pickings. Of course, my name is Matt, and
I'm incompetent.
all right. Well, Incompetent and I are here today to reveal each other's videos to each other. And of course, if you didn't tune in previously to our last stream, but 2 week film challenge is essentially a challenge between the two of us that where we essentially compete with random challenges that both myself, Will, or I'm sorry, Incompetent, have come up with, as well as some other friends and family members, in order to encourage or rather challenge ourselves to use production equipment and stuff like that. So, I don't know who's going first. I think you went first last time, right?
Did I don't know.
Yeah, because I had to follow you. That's right. Because I was like, I don't want to follow this. All right, so I will go ahead and pull mine up here, and I think I could just do it. I'm going to hide both of us for now.
Go for it.
All right, so
God damn.
So yeah, that was that. I initially had like a lighter. I was like, I'm gonna do the lighter, and I realized that 240 frames a second is not that fast. not as many frames as I'd hoped for.
Is that? Did you make that fuse?
Oh no, I did not make the fuse. That was a safety fuse I bought many years ago, and surprisingly still works great.
Jeez.
I thought about making a flash pot, but I couldn't get the necessary components in time, and plus I didn't want to look like a crazy person buying stuff like that on short notice. Like, can I have this overnighted? No. So,
sorry, I'm recalling fond memories of that time that you bought like an industrial amount of saltpeter from the Rite Aid in Waco. And made smoke bombs and weapons.
Oh, the good old years when it was actually up to no good and not just crazy people. But yes, yeah, making smoke bombs out of saltpeter and actually making flash pots too out of saltpeter. And if I remember, I don't know if I should even be saying this on a live stream on how to do that, but
nobody cares. It's not like it's illegal. You can Google it.
It's not. Yeah, I guess you can pretty much Google it. It's ping pong balls dissolved in
oh shit.
acetone. Yeah, because they're made of nitrocellulose, so they're a binder. Yeah. So you can use that as the binder to mix in saltpeter.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. To make and then if you add aluminum shavings into it, it'll be a flash pot. So it's just big, like not a flashbang, but a flash.
Okay.
So yeah. So this here, I just found a little jar of nothing and clamped it onto a lighting stand. And then I stuck the fuse. I just coiled the fuse up in there because I was like, it's going to all light at once. It should be cool enough to see something go off in it. And I thought I had some sparklers laying around somewhere, but I couldn't find them. So otherwise I would have done that. But
yeah,
it came out pretty decently. Like if you slow down the frames, you can actually it has some decent has some different frame rates. But yeah, it initially had a lighter. Did try the lighter, and it didn't look that great, and it looked like so. I even backlit it with like blue light. I was like, I feel like this is like a Wilding now. The red backlight, like same concept. I was like, nope, I can't do this. So then that's what I came with that idea last minute. But it came out pretty nice. I stuck with. I didn't know this, but both of our cameras have two native ISO amplifiers on them. So
Really?
basically, yeah. So from 100 or 0 or 100 up to I think it's 1,000 or right before 1,000, it uses one amplifier, and 1,000 plus is uses a secondary amplifier. So that way, the resolution, the light that it's bringing into the ISO that's increasing there is using two different pieces of hardware essentially, so that it doesn't cause as much grain.
Okay. Oh,
so using
that's good to know.
Yeah, so using 400 ISO and 1,000 ISO are the best ISOs to use. Those are the native ISOs for the camera. So I shot the first one at 1,000 ISO, 240 frames using the 180 shutter rule. So I shot at 240th of a frame, 100. Oh my gosh, 240th of a second, 120 frames per second.
Okay.
At 2.7K Blackmagic RAW, because you can't do ProRes 422 on slow mo. At least on the camera you can.
Okay.
But I used the wide angle lens for that too. So I was right up close to it. Like, I mean, here's the pot here. God. Here's the lens, and I used the matte box. I was like, I just hope for the best. So like after the third take, and of course these are in RAW. The takes actually took them 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
After I took the third take, I was like, I'm gonna do one more. I'm gonna do something a little bit different. I'm gonna drop. So for the third one, I dropped down the aperture to a higher f-stop, so that I could get a little bit better depth of field, so I wouldn't have this focusing of an issue. I could get embers floating, and I was gonna go for a fourth one, but then I looked at the lens to see how it was, and it had hot spots, dust, the stuff that flown back and hit the lens. And
I was like,
about to ask. Okay. And I was like. I was like,
nope, we're done.
Lots of bad words. So yeah. I was like, all right. So I got the lens cleaned it up, and it looked great. Like, there's no issue. Good. So I was like, okay, the good piece of glass does pretty good there. But I really wish in the future I'd stop there, because otherwise I was going to do the fourth one. But I need to get a UV pane to put in there, because you can't put that wide angle lens is curved, so you can't put a lens right on, or a filter right on top of it.
Yeah, or you could get. You could get like a platen that's, you know, a 1/4 inch thick, but like a couple of feet square that you just mount in front of it, and then you've actually got a shield.
Yeah, just a sheet in front. Yeah, so yeah, that's what the matte box should be doing for us. So I'll do that moving forward. But yeah, so that was.
I like that. That was good.
Yeah.
That was. I'm impressed. Like that. I was. I'm not gonna lie, I knew how close you had to get, just based on what we were watching, and I thought, I really hope that Matt didn't do anything to that lens.
Like you, and of course you can see the crap flying out of it. Now I got
really close.
I got very close to 100 IRE too, so I was able to. But what I really liked is just the embers. I was like, man, this stuff's cool. Like, I like that.
Well, hell, that's. I mean, in slightly more controlled circumstances, that's a halfway decent transition shot.
Mm-hmm.
Like you could make that a like that.
Yeah.
You could make that a crossfade. Like that. Mm-hmm. That looks nice.
Yeah, it came out looking great, and even at this was shot at this last one we were shot at the 400 ISO. Or I'm sorry, no, I still shot at 1,000 ISO, but I lowered the aperture down so I could get a better depth of field, so I could see more of the embers and stuff like that. And so it came out pretty good. For this particular challenge, I thought about making a fire tornado, but I couldn't get the resources together in time. So this will work.
That would have been pretty goddamn cool if you were able to do that. I like that.
Just like a fire pit and a bunch of like 8 tornado fans or tornado fans.
Yeah. That's cool.
All right, let's see what you guys. Enough about me. Let's see.
I'm not horribly happy with mine, just because Uh,
All right, I'm gonna go.
do it.
I should probably unmute myself. That helps. Not happy with it? They're like great.
It looked okay. It's definitely stuff I would have done different if I hadn't like just come back from vacation and been sick and been like slammed the entire week before I went out of town. Yeah, probably would look a little bit better.
That's hard. So that, I mean, honestly, that one is I'm worried about for myself because that the motions you have to do in order to not make it as too shaky to the point where you can't see what's going on, which it wasn't. It was fine.
Well, yeah, and that was kind of challenging because one of the things that because I was just using the gimbal to do that because I didn't have anything else. I couldn't just hold the camera because it's just
that's where it gets real shaky. Yeah.
Yes. So I had to kind of compromise because I couldn't get fluid enough movement using the gimbal while it was engaged. So what I ended up doing was just turning off the gimbal but unlocking all three axes and just using the gimbal as like a support platform that I could get fluid motion without it looking like I was having a seizure. And so that's all it was. Like there was no electronic stabilization on it. It was just me trying to kind of keep it steady and mock, the bob and weave of a cat. Which
I was cracking up here. Lindsay's faces are really entertaining to me. And I forgot to mute myself. I don't know if you could hear me.
No, I could not.
Okay. I can't remember if it hears it or not, but I liked this actually. Where is it? I'm looking for it. It's when you jump in the tunnel. I was wondering because I figured this was coming. I was wondering how you were going to do it. because I'm pretty sure Lindsay and Jen were making fun of the both of us as we were shooting our stuff.
Oh, Lindsay definitely was. She was a good
It
sport.
is.
So
Yeah, this because at first I thought you were going to actually crawl through the tunnel there for a moment.
so
And you did.
I tried getting the camera as far in as I could, which was not actually all that far. And so everything you see here, there are 1, 2, 3. There are 3 hard cuts. And
I was wondering.
The tunnel is one of them, just because, and I just got enough noise that it makes it kind of. I mean, if you pause and advance the frames, you can see where the cut is. It's not difficult if you're just advancing it frame by frame. It's jerky enough that if you're just watching it at 24 frames a second, you're not gonna, unless you're being very astute, you're probably not going to see where the cut exactly is, which was good enough for me.
Oh yeah, no, I think it looks fine. It's not something I can slow down even here to see, which is fine, right? But you got the. Of course, I don't have cats, so I don't. Oh, I didn't see that first of all.
What? My reflection? Yeah, I caught that while I was editing it. I was like, well,
I just now saw it. But yeah, there you can't even see it once she opens the door. It's not.
It's like 3/4 of a second. It's not terribly long, but I mean, it's very, very noticeable. So.
I love it. It's great. And the back to the bed. And the thing is you actually have a storyline here.
Yeah.
You have which is nice. It's more than I anticipated for any of our challenges so far, storyline wise.
It took longer to plan everything out than it did to do the actual work. And for the amount of work that was done, it probably grossly disproportionate. But yeah, like that was I didn't just want to.
I mean, it's almost like it almost looks like one fluid shot to the most part, except for maybe the tunnel you mentioned. But
that was, and that was my goal from the get-go, was to try and as trickily as possible make it look like everything was one single continuous shot. And there's the tunnel, obviously. I mean, that's a fairly obvious one, but now the tunnel is one. The other 2 are jumping down from the food bowls. There's a cut that it's kind of weird. It's noticeable if you're just going frame by frame, because the colors will abruptly shift. Yeah, right back there, from kind of brown to a slightly different kind of brown that's not uniform. And it's, like I said, it goes too fast for you to see it while it's going. And there's another one here, right here, right there. The fan, it's just a couple of frames, but the fan skips from one part of the screen to the other. That if it's going at the correct speed, you don't notice it happening. But the whole goal was to just make it look like one big long continuous shot, just because I didn't want it to be jarring and interruptive, like, oh, hey, this was clearly a cut. So
you used motion to hide it, is what you did, which is what you're supposed to do. So that's good. And how many takes did you actually end up having to do?
Gosh, I probably have 10 or 15 different takes of just different stuff. I have several of jumping off the bed, just because it was really, some stuff is, I mean, the bed going to the food bowl is one shot, and I kept fucking that up a lot. I probably had 6 or 7 shots just of that. A few doing stuff with Lindsay, and there's several shots that just got completely cut, of going over and looking out the window. And the problem I kept running into is I can't move the aperture fast enough to not make the light look overblown outside.
Yeah.
it would, every time I got close to it, it was just normal looking indoors, completely washed out, overblown outside. And so what I ended up sort of settling on was, oh, hey, if Lindsay's opening the door, I can take those few seconds, very steadily manually dial the aperture back to where it's not going to be, when she finally opens the front door, it's not going to look blown out outside, and then I can just walk out, and as I turn around and come back in, there's enough outside light beaming back into the house that I could dial the aperture back in the other direction and not have it look really dark and impossible to see coming back inside. So that was the hard part, was getting. You can tell there's a couple of seconds of me walking in the house where you can tell I am still working that wheel.
Yeah.
Because it's dim. It's dim for a half second.
And I mean, I could be wrong here, but as far as focusing goes, how did that work out for you?
So I tried a handful before I actually did like actual shots. I tried kind of toying around with focus because I was going from places like this where everything's, kind of at the maximum focal length anyways, to like jumping up and looking at the food dish.
Yeah.
Like I can't get, if I try to get close enough that actually looks like I'm a cat looking at their food bowl, I could not dial the focus. Like I was having to reel the focus way back just to get close. So I just said, screw it. I've got basically a 35 millimeter lens on this thing. I'm just going to I'm just going to set the focus to infinity and get kind of close to the food bowls. Yeah. And I think it worked. I mean, if I were doing this and actually had like somebody manning the damn focus for actual production, I mean, it'd be entirely different. But it's like, shit, this is a tiny little house. Like I don't have enough. Like right here, when you see me jump up, I am actually like 2.5 or 3 feet back.
Oh wow!
I am nowhere near those food bowls, and it's just because I couldn't get the focus correct in time. And it's still even not very, like I should have been further back.
It's slightly soft, but it's not too bad. There it's pretty good.
Yeah, there's a couple in like when I'm at the door and I turn around and look at Lindsay, her face is just a little out of focus, and I think I must have bumped. And like this, I can't tell if it's a compression thing or a focus thing. And there's a physical problem prohibiting me from being able to determine that, and it's that I accidentally shot everything in Blackmagic RAW. And I don't have a Macintosh powerful enough to play BM RAW. So I kind of had to just open everything up in Resolve and export it to H.264. And I think it might have fucked the compression on the output files, because it looked kind of okay until I rendered the damn thing at like 11:30. It was just, well, shit, I can't go back and fix that now. So when I introduced myself as incompetent, I was half joking.
Only half joking.
But in the end, I was pleased with how it came out. There's definitely things that I would do differently in retrospect. Like, okay, this is, I couldn't engage the gimbal. I probably would have tried to shoot things from a couple of different angles just because the focus was going to be a lot harder to work with. Next time around, whatever I'm working with, I've kind of got that.
Whatever you get next time around. Speaking of which, I guess we should move to that here. So let me share that screen here.
Sorry, I didn't mean to ramble on and on about that.
No, I asked the question and you went through it with me. Let's see. Yes. Okay. I want this one. go. All right. Obviously, if we've already had one of these, so this is still challenges 1 through 4, which ultimately they may end up being more than 4, and we just didn't even realize it ahead of time here. So 1 through 4 hardness wise.
Okay.
And yeah, let's obviously if we get the same one, we'll remove it, or if it's a challenge we've already done, we'll remove it and keep it going. So let's see. Last time, what was it? I think I had you go first. I don't remember.
Yeah, because I had to mulligan. Yeah, I went first.
Yes, that's right. Okay.
It is your turn.
Right,
it is your turn now.
All right, excellent. So let's see here.
All right, what's it gonna be?
Of Anne.
Come on.
Time lapse. I can do water fountain. There we go. All right. Good. I had to go find a water fountain at, when it's 25 degrees outside.
I was going to say, maybe we give that a few days to warm back up.
We'll see, yeah, because I don't even know if I can find a water fountain that's active during the winter. That'll be interesting. But I'll figure it out. I'll make one if I have to. Screw it. So, water fountain it is. Okay, so I'll close that out. And we'll do yours next now.
All right. I want something that's outside. Like, I want to do something outside.
I know, I'm getting kind of antsy. I'm like, I want to take on a challenge number 5 here, honestly. But I know I'm going to regret it as soon as I jump into it.
Oh, come on! Oh, no. Shoot video event.
Ooh, that's
Animal
a
rescue.
One. That's a number 5. That should not be in there.
Yeah, can I get another?
That actually, yeah, that's not supposed to be there. Yeah, that's because that's actually easy for me to do. But we're gonna remove that one. Yeah, I don't know how they got in there, but yeah, that's supposed to be a number 5.
Okay, I thought. Hang on, I'm gonna pull the notes up because I'm curious what the numbers are on some of these.
Making waffles is also a number 5, I'm pretty sure.
Really?
Let me check. You know what?
Oh, it's a 4.
It's a 4.
It's a 4.
Well, it's not outside.
Well, so the nice thing is the lighting in my mom's kitchen is like fan freaking tastic. Like you turn all the lights in her kitchen on, and it's like you dragged a little piece of the sun inside of her house. So it's all nice, just ultra bright LEDs in can lights in the ceiling. So yeah. I can actually work with that.
All right, so pancakes or waffles for you, and water fountains for me.
Okay. There surely is. I mean, is it like freezing down there now?
Yeah, it's 29 right now.
Surely somewhere, someone in the next 2 weeks will be like, screw it, turn the fountain out front on.
And there's, honey, there's some guy asking if he can use our fountain in our front yard. It's not below me to do that.
He wants to do what? You tell that weirdo to get off our yard. I'm not signing anything.
Oh man, that's exactly what's gonna happen. Yeah, I'll make sure I bring Jinnel onto the photo.
Some guerrilla filmmaking.
I've already started all the different challenges, the list we have, and which, of course, anyone still sticking with us here, eventually we'll put these videos on the website. Not only that, but we'll have a list of all the challenges that are actually there. Jen just sent me a message.
Oh no, it's in the Xbox thread. Man isn't gonna know what the hell it is.
Jen and I have this running thing where we'll go for a walk. We'll take the dogs for a walk, and of course we have two large dogs. And Jen has made this character up of an upper age lady yelling at her husband, and of course I don't know what her name is, but his name is John.
Eunice.
And I wish I could do I can't even try to do the voice because she does it, and it's just a particular voice she does it in. But it's basically the nosy neighbor, yeah. The nosy neighbor that's appearing at the point that's her character, she has. But of course, so anyone that doesn't know what the hell we're talking about, it says John, he's out playing with the fountain. What is he doing? And I was like, yeah, that's pretty accurate. That's exactly what's gonna happen. And me making like a little motorized fountain into water, into a little pool with my bathing suit, swimming in this little pool. Oh, I might do that. That's gonna be terrible, but I might do that.
Do it. Fucking John.
Oh man. Okay, so that's pretty much it for us. But as I was mentioning, the website will have the list of challenges, and of course with the hardnesses. We currently have ranking them 1 through 5. There are some 6s in there, which are like these are going to be difficult. So we might end up scaling that up slightly, and of course, points relate to point scale relates to the points that we did, which of course I think we both should be awarded our points, but that's just me. Making waffles and pancakes is a number 4. Okay. Yeah. And so then let's see. I don't know what fire was, but let's see. Yours was just the point of view. Let me see what that is. And I should be putting up our score rankings at some point.
Mine was a 3 this week.
Okay. You got 15 there. I remember what mine was, 2 or something. Well, I'm getting all the low ones.
Fire? No, fire was not 2. That was definitely more.
But
whoa,
2.
where did that? 2. Was it just 2?
Mm-hmm.
No way.
Mm-hmm. Fire was 2, and then let's see what I did last week was
Matt
last week. Matt Box, that's what it was. That was a 1. Yeah, so I had a 1 last.
Okay.
I think we were doing 1s and 2s the first round. That's what we did. And
which is forgiving. Yeah.
Yeah. And so then we did 1 through 4s this round. So, or the past 2 rounds. So I guess maybe next period we'll do the 1 through 4s again, man. Then after that we'll move into the 5s. 5s. Wow, man, it's been a week. The 5s is to add those in. But eventually we're going to put this on the website, and we're going to also have a form there where you can submit your own challenges. If you want us to do something preferably not illegal. I mean, I don't mind embarrassing myself, but preferably not illegal.
It depends on how illegal it is. I'm open to a challenge.
Yeah, hopefully no one's been
watching. As long as I don't have to break into any place or kill anybody. We'll consider it. I'll consider it.
Man. Yeah, so and of course you can submit whatever you want us to do. We're always looking for a challenge, as it's in the name. All right, so I think that's it pretty much for tonight here. Thanks for everyone that stayed up late tonight here to watch our stream, our midnight stream. So, bye.
Adios.